Nollywood has lost an icon again. Amaechi Muonagor has died of kidney failure, and it's really just with heavy hearts that we're confirming the passing of our beloved Amaechi Muonagor. He fought so bravely against kidney failure, and I remember when the videos came out and we saw how much he was struggling, and it just broke my heart. This is a renowned, iconic actor, but unfortunately he's passed away. You know, when you think about Amaechi Muonagor, it's a name that's synonymous with laughter, joy, unforgettable performances. From his early days in Nollywood as Aki and Popo's father to his rise as a comedy legend, and he just had that infectious charm that just captivates anyone, you know. And he was the type of personality that just created a larger than life personality. And just hearing this news about Amaechi Muonagor's passing, it comes as a shock to many. Why? Because, you know, he had done a public plea for assistance in funding a kidney transplant, and, you know, it just again though brought this thing to light. And I've been that generation of actors, and I can't even say that generation, because at the end of the day, when you are a working actor, when you're a creative, for me, and not even creative, many people, there's a generation that don't have pension, there's a generation that didn't have the ability to save and plan and create wealth in a different way that I would say hopefully this younger generation, this newer generation of artists do. And that generation, you know, the pay and the wages, even though the pay and the wages now are not great, but then of course they were much different from now. And of course these are people with families, taking care of people, loved ones. So, you know, there was no planning, there was no savings, there was no pension. And not only that, most importantly, the healthcare infrastructure system in Nigeria, even if you do have a lot of wealth, trying to get dialysis a day, it's millions, costs millions to get dialysis for one day. It's not cheap at all. So, and even if you're wealthy, something like kidney failure, having a kidney that requires you to be on dialysis requires a lot of money. Why? Because of the healthcare infrastructure in Nigeria is not good, because you're paying out of pocket. There's a lot of work to be done at the end of the day, right? Maybe if he could have traveled abroad, it could have even possibly been a bit cheaper, because receiving this kind of treatment in Nigeria, anybody who's ever been on dialysis will tell you they spent millions. Number two, the question of whether there's enough early diagnosis. A lot of times when it comes to us as Nigerians, I've realized that we tend to avoid health checkups and just things that could possibly help us detect earlier, right? These are things that we could possibly see, what could we do to make sure that this issue of kidney failure, that it seems to be really high, and there tends to be Nigerians are high risk with kidney disease, it's increasing more and more, and I don't know why. People have said that it has to do with the herbs that we take, or the bitters. I watched a documentary recently that was saying that the bitters that we take some of the chemicals that they put inside is actually leading to damage in the kidney. We'll have to check and see with research and see how factual that is. You know, we still have a very low, when it comes to death in this country, sometimes it feels like our people are snuffed out like that. It just feels like the value of life is not high in this country. Sadly, Amaechi Muonagor is not the only actor that we've lost in recent times. A week ago, we mourned the passing of John Okafor, also known as Mr. Ibu, and who also appealed for medical support and passed away due to complications. We also, of course, saw the death of Sisi Quadri, who passed away due to false diagnosis. He was misdiagnosed. We all cannot deny that the healthcare infrastructure in Nigeria is really inadequate. I mean, our president travels for medical care. It's always happened. Our medical practitioners, they are trained professionals. They're all leaving the country every day because of how they're being treated. Do you know how much a doctor gets paid? I will never forget. Accordingly, online right now, as of 2019, doctor is making 150k. That's base salary. When base salary shouldn't even start there. 150k a month, even in 2019, and you're supposed to be saving lives. You're supposed to be saying that we value the work, we value the education, we value the years and years and years of study that these people have put behind their craft, and you want to pay them 150,000 naira, and we're surprised as to why these people have left the country. Who's going to raise a family on 150k? Of course we're going to lose our best quality talent. It's not possible for them to stay. And even with that, I will never forget that these doctors were still getting paid late. I will never forget having friends who were doctors who would call me and ask, Bolanle, can I borrow money from you? I haven't been paid for 3-4 months. And these are public hospitals, federal hospitals. It's a shame. It's an abomination. And what does it show? It shows again that the infrastructure and the institutions of Nigeria do not value life. Because if you value life, you would ensure that the people who are responsible for taking care of sick people are treated well so that they have motivation to do their work properly. Many Nigerians, including actors like Amaechi Muonagor and John Akof, are forced to seek treatment abroad due to the lack of proper facilities at home. Again, I hope these deaths are not in vain. They need to serve as a wake-up call for our government and our society as a whole. We cannot continue to neglect the healthcare needs of our people. We cannot continue to lose talented individuals to preventable health diseases. It's time for our government to prioritize healthcare funding and invest in building better medical facilities across the country. At some point, it has to give. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts. We're praying for the family of Amaechi Muonagor, and we pray that his soul rests in peace. We pray that the family finds peace. It's a shame, absolute shame. Ending the scoop on another sober note. All right, well, that's it for today. I will see you guys tomorrow.